Right now I feel my greatest failure was the Indonesia race where I lost both of them. There was tremendous blood loss, there were people screaming, I was just looking at my arm get cut. The moment I woke up, I saw family members around me, and then I looked at my arm and it was all bandaged, and that's when I figured this is it, this is what I'll be living with.
Hi guys, what's up? My name's Nikhil. Welcome to Talk About Failures.
I'm an entrepreneur, a dreamer, a part-time doer, and a full-time failure. I'm running this organization called Talk About Failures, wherein we're trying to create a community where people voluntarily share their failure experiences, failure stories, and trying to create, an education. Sometimes the best way to stop someone from firing bullets at you is to take off your armor. Be raw, be real, be vulnerable, be honest. Don't play your part, share your stories, talk about failures.
Today we are super excited to have someone with us who's had the opportunity of representing India at the world level, competing against other nations. He's a two-time silver medalist, winning medals at the Asian Paracycling Championship in Myanmar in 2018, the Asian Games in Jakarta. He finished a close fourth. Thank you so much for joining us, Divij. It's a pleasure to have you here. So before getting into your journey, there's one question that we ask all our guests. What's been your greatest failure?
Well, right now I feel my greatest failure was the Indonesia race where I lost both of them. You can't just term it as a failure, it's a learning lesson.
Exactly.
You have to learn from it, that what all we were missing out on, what all I had to do in order to get to stay on the top. So that's what I've been picking up on.
That's great. So let's take it back a couple of decades before. How did you lose your arm? What happened?
So I was 4 years old. I was at my auntie's place, and I was playing with this paper aeroplane. I was done playing with it. I saw my mom and my cousins. They were leaving. They were in the elevator. So I took the aeroplane. I put my arm through the gates. The gates were shut, so the lift was active. And I gave it to mom, saying that I'm done playing with it. You're going down, so might as well just throw it. And at that very moment, someone from the ground floor pressed the button for the lift. So the lift went down and the hand got cut. So yeah, there was tremendous blood loss. There were people screaming. I was just looking at my arm get cut. There were no tears at that time, and I think it was mainly because the shock of this entire event overpowered pain that time. And the moment I woke up, I saw family members around me, and then I looked at my arm and it was all bandaged. And that's when I figured this is it. This is what I'll be living with.
I read somewhere that the first time you picked up a bat was at the age of 6.
Yes, so this was at 4, and then took me a while to get accustomed to the life. And by 6, my dad introduced me to cricket. So we went there, and the coach up front, he was like, "Boss, इससे नहीं होगा. He has one arm, so ये कैसे खेलेगा?" But I was determined, so was my dad. So we went back home. I was a little dejected. But that's when he made me realize that, this is what you have. So basically, deal with it. Use what you have. Let's make the most of whatever it is, right?
For those who don't know, apart from cycling, he's also played under-16 cricket, which is a pretty big thing, which is pretty amazing.
Cycling is the only thing that I've done as a para sport. Rest, all of the sports that I've played throughout my life have just been with all able bodies. So I have never felt different in any way because I've grown up with this.
So after cricket, you graduated, you did your MBA.
Yeah, so cricket went on until say around 9th grade. I had to focus on education as well. I did my schooling from St. Xavier's. For my undergrads, I moved to Pune at Symbiosis, where I did my BBA, and then went ahead to play some more cricket over there, league matches with people who I knew, corporate tournaments.
So basically, you always loved cricket that much that you still had a passion to do something.
I still do. Every time I come back to Calcutta, I meet my school friends. We still make the point to go back to a ground, play a game or something or the other.
So after you completed your MBA, you got a job. You got placed in Bangalore.
I got placed in Bangalore, yes, and it's a wonderful city, but it's supremely trafficked.
Yeah.
That's it.
So is that what got you to cycling?
So Bangalore traffic and my work is something which motivated me to take up cycling. and I was spending more than say 3 hours a day. Just it takes a toll, right? You're wasting 3 hours of your life, of your 24 hours. So one fine day I just walk into Decathlon over there and I'm like, okay, let's get the most basic cycle purely for commute purposes. But slowly I started getting a knack of it. I was liking it. Somewhere around that commute ride, the bug bit me and I wanted to do more. So on weekends I would get out, meet with a bunch of other riders in the city, join few groups. So my 11 kilometers of commute started becoming 25, 40, 50. Then I wanted to see more of the city, so I started riding outside. Within the city, would go onto the highways, smaller rural sides, village sides. So that 50 to 80 became 100, 120.
But there's a difference between being passionate about something and being so motivated that you want to represent India and compete at the highest level. That's a huge gap. So how did that happen?
So ever since childhood, I've had this dream of representing the country, wearing the tricolour, winning at a sport, and like the Indian national anthem plays because of something I did. I get to stand on the podium with a gold medal around me, so that's something which has motivated me throughout my life. And cycling is something which helped, which did make that dream come true.
So how did it feel when you won your first silver medal in Bahrain?
Oh, it took a while for me to digest, like, dude, this actually happened. Because it was after, so my first race was, it was an 11 kilometer time trial race. It was like the longest 11 kilometers I think I've ever done. I got done, I was panting. I was like, it took me a while to catch my breath, and then slowly the results were announced. And I was still like wondering, like, was my timing? And then they announced my name for silver. I was like, dude, yeah, this happened.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. I think it's amazing. I really want to congratulate you again that you've done so much for the country. I think it takes a lot of mental strength more than physical strength, which is commendable.
Everybody can do it. It's nothing. It's no rocket science. It's just when you know what your goal is, when you know which direction you have to go towards, you'll start moving away all the hurdles which come in your way. You'll start fighting the beast in your head, which will want you to give up.
I think everyone has their low days though. Like there must be days where you feel like I want to give this up now. Do you
I did
like
after
that?
my race, after my loss at Indonesia. I was definitely like, dude, I won 2 silvers. Yeah, it's enough for this life. Let's get back to just working throughout, and like we'll figure out something else. Yeah. But then that's not how it happens, right? Goal is to win the gold, right? Get on the podium. Keep going, right? And it's just Asia level now. I have to explore the world levels. I have to get to Paralympics. So the dream is pretty big. And
so what keeps you going? Do you have any tricks that you use when you're feeling low? Or how do you motivate yourself? Do you have a routine that you follow before a race that you do?
I have these few fans on Instagram who keep putting up their pictures with cycles and all. And their workouts on a daily basis. So every day that I'm feeling low in the morning, then I'm like, yeah, let's do an indoor session, or let's push this to tomorrow. I just start scrolling through them and I realize, no shit, I'm gonna miss out on this. They might just win this. So that's what pushed me. Competition just it's a positive driving force, I think.
I think you're a big inspiration for specially abled people right now, because they look at you, you're doing something which is very different, competing at the biggest level. So what kind of tips would you like to give people who are watching this video right now?
Well, what I feel is it really doesn't matter what you don't have. What matters is what you have and what you can do with it. No matter how limited your resources are, if you can make the most out of it, I'm sure you'll go way beyond your limits. They have this saying that the wolf on top of a hill is never as hungry as a wolf which is trying to climb the hill. So always try and be the wolf who's trying to climb the hill. So yeah, day usually starts at 3:30, 4 in the morning with rides. And then until 7:30 I'm done with it, and then I start working at 9. Usually it ends around 6:30, 7 in the evening, because I'm working for Malaysia right now, so they are 2.5 hours ahead. So I practically have no social life right now. But that's the point, right? When you want to achieve something bigger, you can like kuch paane ke liye kuch khona padta hai.
So basically, what's next for you now? What's coming up?
I have my race in the next 21 days. It's the Asian Cycling Championship for which I'm training right now in Uzbekistan. So that's my next opportunity to bring the gold back home, to complete my part of my dream. Let's put it like part of my dream, because now the dream's getting bigger to Paralympics and World Championships and all. So let's aim for the Asian Cycling Championship gold as of now.
So we wish you all the best for your upcoming event.
Thank you so much.
We're pretty sure you're going to get us gold this time.
Inshallah.
Thank you so much for joining us,
Thanks,
spending some time with us,
Yes.
taking some time out from your schedule.